Hey, yo. Pineapple in the building, literally. So, our topics for today are 401ks, life insurance, and a Tubi movie review on the movie We Belong Together. Okay, so first off, the Tubi movie We Belong Together. It's got it's a model named Drea Michelle. I believe that's how you pronounce her last name, unless it's Drea Mitchell. I didn't have a T, but it's with Drea Mitchell. It's one of Christopher B. Stokes's movies, which apparently he's got a lot of on Tubi. So a lot of more of your upscale black movies on Tubi. I'm finding out that Chris Stokes is behind a lot of them. So, but they're good. They're good movies. So I won't give away too much on this movie. I will say that it's not as good as If I Can't Have You or If I Can't or Omission. Those were two really good movies. But it was okay. It's a good movie. It's a good watch. I could see how you could get just kind of with it. Because, you pretty much just kind of see where it's going around the first 30, 40 minutes of it. But the takeaway from the whole plot or whatever, folks, if you're a teacher or something like that, don't get involved with your students. Don't get involved with your students. Don't let crazy people around your family, your kids, even your exes, because it could just be bad news all around, okay? But as far as maybe a star rating, I would probably give, If I Can't, 5 out of 5 stars. I would give Omission maybe 4 out of 5 stars, because there was some periods in there to where I didn't really like some of the acting. Sometimes in some of Tubi videos, Tubi movies, the acting is just kind of not great. But that's not all of the movies. So now in We Belong Together, this movie I'm talking to you about right now, I would give it maybe probably really a 3 star. Not even 3.5, not 4. I can see how you could give it a 2 star. It's something to watch. It's not terrible. It's not. It's okay. Again, that movie is called We Belong Together on Tubi with Drea Michelle in it. Off that, 401ks. So, I don't know if many of you know about 401ks or if you even have one. I have had one at a job I've had before. It did come in handy. 401ks are very wise to have, okay? So many of you might wonder, what exactly is a 401k? So a 401k is something that you can either get with your employer, or you can get it with an outside third-party person. Like, I think it's somebody in Tyler off of Paluxy, I believe, that offers 401ks if you want to purchase your own outside of your works, so your employees' stuff or whatever, your employers' stuff. But 401ks are really handy because what you can do is, if you're getting it taken out of your check at work, some facilities, they'll match what you put in. Like, say, if you're going to put in, I don't know, say 4.5% of your check, okay, is going to go into this little bank, this little divvy bank of yours. And think of it as a CD. Now, some employers will match what you put in. Some employers don't. And that's okay, because a 401k is still a 401k. So you're specifically saving for the future. It's like a out of sight, out of mind bank, okay? Some of it, I believe, comes out pre-tax. So I believe it's before taxes are taken out. So think about every time you get paid, you're getting this 4.5% amount of your paycheck out into this netherland of your savings, okay? And you can't touch that savings, I believe. Some people, I think, have it for like a year. I don't know, some other facilities might put different restrictions on it for time-wise. But you can just sit and let it grow over time. Especially, it's really great, like I said, if your job is matching that amount. So say if every pay period, putting in $75, the job is putting in $75 as well. So putting in $75 every time I get paid, plus their $75 that they're matching, you know, we got some money coming in, okay? So then that's every time you get paid. And so say over a year or two time, you build up a savings of, let's just say you got $2,000 in there, okay? And so then you either are maybe planning a vacation, or say you end up quitting the job, and the next job you have either doesn't have 401k, or you want to just go ahead and draw it out. So a lot of employers will let you, depending on who their 401k is through, it may be through like Fidelity or something like that. You can withdraw from your 401k, like draw all your money out, take a withdrawal, okay? You can withdraw all your money out of it, or you can just withdraw a partial of it. And if your next job does offer 401k, you can, there's a good chance that you can carry your 401k from your previous job to your current job. And that's pretty cool too, because everything that you've built up and saved in that old 401k gets passed over to that current 401k, and you just continue to pour into that. Okay, so it's really cool. And so say if you do want to withdraw it, you have the option of either withdrawing all of your money that you have put in over time, or you can just withdraw a partial of it. Now, I believe after that, it's a way of like you end up paying yourself back. So with some jobs, and it may be all jobs that offer 401k, if you withdraw that amount, you're going to catch up and put that amount back in there. Now, I've been told before that if you do that, then it's like you're paying yourself back from taking out the loan that you gave yourself, which doesn't really make any sense to me. I could be wrong. Somebody help me explain it. Comment, shoot me a DM, help me explain it, help me get some more clarity on that part. But I know a last job that I was at, I withdrew everything that I had from that 401k because I wasn't really sure of what my next step was going to be with another 401k. Now, I will say it comes in handy dandy, all right? So it came in handy. I withdrew that 401k, and I was able to get my son all of his Christmas because I knew with my job change, you know how job changes are. You don't know what the future may hold financial-wise. You want to make sure everything's taken care of. So with my 401k that I had withdrawn, I got my kids' Christmas taken care of months ahead of time, which was a relief for me. That way I could figure out my other financial footing as to just what I wanted to do and what I was capable of doing. So 401k, it's not necessary to have, but it's great to have if you want a future backup plan. You know, you're going on vacation in the next year or so, and you want to try to put something in there without having to physically see that money leave. Because I know for some people, it's a little harder to save than others. So say if when you get paid, you try to pay yourself, you know, pay your bills, tithes if you do, pay your bills, take care of things, groceries, things like that. And you want to try to save after you've paid everything else, okay? And so for some people, it's hard. Some people don't make enough to save, unfortunately. And so, I mean, that just is the way it is for some people. Some people just don't make enough to save. Some people end up making just enough to pay those bills and to get groceries for that week, and that's it. Some people are literally just living, working, paying bills. Living, working, paying bills. That's it. So I hope if you are doing that, I hope that you do find some way to get out of that cycle. Some ways to get out of that cycle is getting a second job. I mean, everybody and their mama is hiring. COVID has been over for 3 years and people are still stricken with, pardon me, but laziness. So there's still a lot of work from home jobs out there. There's a lot of different people hiring. It really just depends on what you want to do, what you're capable of, and if you're just willing to put in the work. That just is what it is. It's beneficial to have multiple hustles. You can't just rely on one single hustle unless you're just making a gobs amount of money with that one hustle. And that if you are, cool, that's great. But I believe that everybody needs a second form of hustle, maybe even a third form. I have 3 different hustles, okay? Many of you know that I'm a nurse. I do a couple of other things on the side. So it helps keep extra money in my pocket because yes, I have a boyfriend. I don't solely rely on his finances. He doesn't solely rely on my finances. We both have our separate savings. You can do what you want in your household. Some households have one total savings for the both of them. You do what you want to take care of your household, however you see fit, whatever floats your boat, whatever tickles your pickle. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it if it's working. But I believe that it's beneficial to have multiple hustles. Growing up, I always had 2 jobs, especially working during the summertime. I always had 2 jobs. And so as I got older, it was a little bit more difficult to have 2 jobs. I could get some overtime from that job if I wanted to. So, I mean, if you can get some overtime, then cool. That is basically like your second job. But if you can't get any overtime or you're limited to your overtime, then yeah, sure, get a side hustle. It's you don't have to do everything that's in your profession. You just don't. Just because I'm a nurse doesn't mean I can't go out and flip some burgers or make some pizzas if I wanted to, or deliver some food, or do Instacart. You got to have multiple hats. It's just beneficial. Don't limit yourself. Do not limit yourself to just one thing in life. Just don't do it. So, but like I was saying, it's really beneficial to have a 401k because it can help out your future a lot. It can help out your future a lot. And say if you don't end up touching that 401k for a year, 2, 3, or 4, even 5 years, can you imagine the amount of money that you put in over each pay period over those 5 years? Can you imagine what that would be like for you to end up withdrawing from? That would be really good. So think about it. Like I said, it's not necessary, but it is totally helpful because sometimes you really just don't know what's going to happen. Like, you don't know if your car is just going to all of a sudden quit and then you're going to need a transmission or a $2,000 engine. No, you don't ever know. So it's best to be prepared. If you're not saving properly, 401k is an easy way to get a savings to where it won't hurt you. Like I said, you can't feel it if you don't see it. All right. So off that, now to talk about life insurance. My people, we're young. We're not old. We're just not as young as we used to be. But honestly, no matter what age, everybody needs life insurance. I cannot stress that enough. And the only thing is, like, you don't need life insurance until you're dead. So that's the only time people really worry about it, is when it's too late. And you can't go off and buy a life insurance policy when you're already dead, because for one, you hadn't put anything in it. For two, it's like trying to file a insurance claim on your car after you get in a wreck and get insurance on it. You see what I'm saying? You can't necessarily try to put insurance on your car, or say you had insurance on your car after you have a wreck. You need insurance on your car when you get in a wreck at that time. Am I making sense? Yes, hopefully. So, I mean, just like 401k, insurance policies are out there. If you don't have insurance, or if it's too high with your jobs, because I know with some jobs, medical insurance, life insurance, insurance is high, period, for some people. It just is. And it's unfortunate. It is really unfortunate. But if you don't have life insurance through your employer, then it's other places around here in Tyler where you can shop around, do some quotes. No, I don't really have any references to that. You'll just have to go to Google and go to Tyler or wherever you live, life insurance policies offered, and just Google and go from there. Shop around, do some comparisons. Don't go to the very first one that you pull up. Shop around and do some comparisons, please, because there's some people that will try to sweet talk you, bait and hook you in, and they don't have a very good plan and they're expensive. So, like I said, it's best to shop around for your policy, and really that's with anything. Shop around for car repair, shop around for hair maintenance, shop around for anything. Shop around. You don't just go to somebody just because you know them or because they just sound good. Shop around. Find what's going to fit for you and your pockets. Okay? So that's my spill on that. But life insurance is so important to have. And honestly, it's really sad because seeing these young people pass, or people without insurance, and then just starting these GoFundMe things. Not everybody has money to give you on a whim like that. You want to sit here and try to raise $8,000 to $10,000 for a funeral or something like that, or even just $3,000, because being cremated didn't cost that much. From what I heard, it was like maybe $800 to $1,000 for cremation. But still, what if people don't have money to give you? What if they just won't give you money because they don't have sympathy because you don't have life insurance and should? You know, you can't always rely on other people to help bail you out of financial situations. You just can't. So you need to be prepared. Have you a life insurance policy? Have a life insurance policy, because nobody thinks about death like that. They just don't. Let's just be honest. Some people do. Some people do. Some people are prepared. I have kept life insurance, medical insurance, since I started working when I was 15. Because, I mean, I'm not trying to like gloat or nothing, but I'm wise. I'm wise enough to know that you can drop dead at any age. And if you know, especially if the people around you could not just pay out of pocket like that for a funeral, even if they could, who wants to pay out of pocket for funeral expenses when you have life insurance to do it for you? Make it make sense. Find you a policy that fits your needs, fits your pockets, and that could be enough. Because I believe most people offer like maybe like a $10,000 minimum burial policy or life policy. I think average funeral is about $9,000-$10,000. That if you're not going high end with every single thing, and it's just good to be prepared, you guys. It's just good to be prepared. You don't want to end up having that day happen to you or a loved one and be out of pocket for every single thing, because it gets very expensive. And not everybody is a fan of cremation. So you got to have your ducks in a row when you go. I'm just saying. Now, when you start to get older, or if you have different assets and things like that, it's really good to have a last will and testament, an advance directive, or medical power of attorney. And those things are, an advance directive is basically a directive to the physicians. It's your directions to the physicians. In any case that you are unable to make medical decisions or say things on your own, that piece of paper, that advance directive, will let the physicians know, hey, I want this done, I want this done, I don't want this. I don't want a peg tube, I don't want to be brought back to life, I don't want heroing rescue measures, don't give me CPR, different things like that. So it's important. It's important. Medical power of attorney, it's written in paper, you designating someone to make medical decisions for you in the case, in any event that you were unable to do so yourself. Now, not everybody has those. Maybe a lot of older people do. A lot of maybe older, sicker people do. But it's really good to have if you know that you're just having problems like that. Because what I don't like seeing, but what does happen a lot, is somebody gets sick and they don't have anything written out. They might not want CPR. They might not want to even be at the hospital. They might want to pass away at home. But they don't have any of these things written down on paper. And so when it comes down to it, family starts bickering and everything, okay. If they're not in agreement verbally to, okay, let's let so-and-so pass at home like they want to. Okay, well, let's let so-and-so just pass gracefully like they want to. They don't want CPR. Some family members will argue over what they want for that person. Okay? And then you might end up in the hospital and don't even want to be there. You might end up getting resuscitated and don't even want to. You might want to go on to glory. Believe it or not, it's some people that do not want CPR. They just want to go on to glory. You might even not want to have CPR and they end up giving you CPR. And then look, you still here with us. You still down here with us. You could be kicking it with Jesus, but you down here with us still. So you're going to wake up mad, hoping that you would have woke up dead. Believe it or not, like I said, it's some people like that. Some people just don't want CPR. They old, they tired. They don't even have to be tired to be old. They could be young and really sick. But some people just don't want to go through all those heroic measures to save their life. If they know that their body has already been through some things, they're just physically and mentally tired. Some people just want to go on to glory when it's their turn. I can't be mad at that. Neither should you. But some people get selfish when it comes to things like that. So it's really best that you have everything written out, especially if you have assets, if you got a lot of money, you got some land, houses, furniture, different things like that. So it, excuse me, it's best to have everything written out. And whenever you want to update it, make sure you do actually update it. And medical power of attorney, it has to be notarized, as does an advance directive, or so I've been told. I've got the papers. I know we've got several packets at work. It's best that they get notarized. That way it's official. So, because I think if they're not official, you can't really legally do anything. So they need to be notarized. They've got to be notarized by a notary. So if not, like I said, it's not official. If you try to present it to a court of law, they will throw it out because it has not been notarized. So you got to take care of your business, folks. So that's pretty much it. Tubi review. We Belong Together. About a 3-star out of 5. Dre and Michelle, if you want to hop on Tubi and see what it's about. 401ks, your savings, if you don't have one. Multiple hustles in this community. Hello. Got to have multiple hustles. Got to. And life insurance. Wrapping it up. You guys let me know what you want to talk about next. Bye.